Hi guys, this is Crafty Cat. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. We are here with day 2 of World Watercolor Month, and this year is World Watercolor Month's 10-year anniversary, and I did record this painting, so let's get right into it, okay? First off, I want to apologize for my air conditioner. It can't be helped. We're having a heat wave and I need the air conditioner, you guys. Anyway, so I made a simple sketch and I'm not used to drawing or painting this big. So this is an 8.5 by 11 artist loft sketchbook and I'm really enjoying painting bigger because my eyesight's not that great. So here I just did a wet in wet background with my medium gouache, and I'm just doing lighter yellow at the top and a little bit of darker yellow at the bottom. The top is eventually going to be like a distant yellow wallpaper, and the bottom is going to be sort of like a wood grain table, but like kind of loose and painterly, I'm hoping anyway. So, well, I know for a fact, but at the point when I was painting it, I was hoping. So I really like this meeting wash, and I use it from, it's dried out. It's dried out in this little meeting palette, and I just spray it with water and it's good to go again, and I really like it. And it prevents me from painting with it too thickly, but I can make it thicker if I want to. So anyway, for this bottom part, I'm just doing it super simple because I want the cup to be in the foreground and the wall and even the table is mostly background. So I'm trying to use the same colors in the background that I'm using in the coffee part. Now, I don't drink espresso, so I Googled a lot of pictures of espresso, and they almost all came in a cup with a little heart like this. So I decided I would just draw something like that with a little heart and then put some coffee beans down. But I'm not following a tutorial or anything today. And my hands are super shaky because my asthma has been bad, so I'm taking too much Ventolin. But actually, that helps me to keep it looser, like it gives it a looser look when my hands are shaking like that. So maybe it's helpful. You never know. But yeah, I really like these colors, these earthy colors, and I thought it would be really pretty. And now I'm remembering to finally put the clips on, and I lost one of my clips. So I should have one at the top too, but I don't know where it went. I'm gonna have to buy some more. And now I'm painting in two of the little coffee beans. So this is a very limited palette. I'm just using the yellowy browns, the browns, and different shades of blue. And at the end, I do add some black in to darken the blue a little bit, but that's it. So it's a limited palette, which is a lot of fun to work with. Um, and just so you know, this is sped up 5 times faster than my normal painting speed. I do not paint this fast. So I'm going with a dry brush and I'm trying to get some texture on the paper to make it look like wood. It's a little bit hard because this paper does not have a lot of texture, not as much as the paper that I'm used to using, but I still like it and I'm really enjoying that it's a bigger size than what I'm used to. So anyway, you're going to notice my hand in a lot of shots where I'm trying to stabilize the camera because my paintbrush is long and I keep hitting it against my camera that's recording this. And I can't put the camera up any higher or it won't go close enough to record. So yeah, I apologize for that. I hit my camera all the time, so that just means it's my video. So I'm working on the heart and I'm just adding some darker and lighter spots, basically. Just some little fine lines. And I'm using mostly a watery paint in the middle and a thicker paint toward the sides. I was really happy with how the table came out. I'm just think it's really cool. So I'm fiddling with this little heart a little bit more than I should, and I'm painting some of the seam in the same color as the coffee, but then I go back and change it later to a more of a white color. So I think I changed the seam color like 3 times because I wasn't happy with it. So I'm just gonna have a sip of my water while I paint. Of course, I'm doing a voiceover right now because I can't talk while I paint because it takes me out of the mindset that I need to be in while I'm painting. I'm still pretty new. This is my third time doing World Watercolor Month. And you guys, if it weren't for World Watercolor Month, I probably wouldn't be into art very much. I really find it's a wonderful, wonderful way to grow as an artist to try to challenge yourself. Because I find a lot of times I want to do art and then I spend all day looking at tutorials and thinking, what could I draw? What should I do? And then I do nothing because I just can't make a decision. And World Watercolor Month, it gives you a prompt every day. Now, you don't have to follow the prompt, but I find it very helpful. I apologize that I'm losing my voice, you guys. I have not been feeling good. And it feels like I haven't been feeling good for a really long time. It's not really, really bad, but it's not great either. So anyway, for this blue, I was trying to make it look like some parts were lighter and some parts were darker where the light was hitting. So it's looking a little bit streaky here, but I wanted it to kind of look streaky too. You know how those cups that they have that, I don't know if it's porcelain or ceramic, but they have that look where there's different colors. But I do go over it several times, so I think I lose a lot of that streakiness, but I do like it. And the paint is not streaky. I have to work with white and 2 or 3 different shades of blue to get the streakiness in. So this is me adding streaks. The Meeden paint is really, really nice. I like it. Mind you, I've never used a really good gouache. I think this is probably the best gouache I've ever used. The only other gouache I've tried is the Artist Loft gouache that I paid like $5 for at Michael's or less. And also the Himi gouache, which I did like. I did like the Himi gouache, but mine all dried up. So now going back and fiddling basically. I'm trying to add a little bit of a shadow under the rim. The top of the rim is white with a little bit of blue around there. And I'm just trying to go around with the mug with darker color. And I think I fix it later because I didn't like it. And then I think I go back and make it darker again. I'm very indecisive when I paint. So now for the handle, I know I want it to be darker on the inside where the shadow would be and lighter on the outside. So I'm going with the dark blue just for the inside of this handle of the mug. And then I'm going to go around it with some lighter color. These Meeden paints, they mix really nicely. I do like them a lot. So, and I know my cup is looking a little bit wonky there, like, but I really like it, and I was really happy with how it was going. Um, like I'm not a great artist or anything, but the thing that I love about art, it is so therapeutic, you guys. It makes me feel so happy and relaxed, and I just zone out and get out of my own head. And today was a really bad day. If you pray or if you have any good thoughts to send, my cousin Andy had a stroke today. He's okay because he got to the hospital fast enough. His daughter saw that he had collapsed in the driveway and she called an ambulance. And you have about 4 hours after you get a stroke, you have to get the meds within 4 hours or you're in trouble. And he got to the hospital within about 30 minutes of having the stroke. So they were able to give him the meds and he's doing okay, but he is in intensive care. He's only 2 years older than me. And yeah, so say a prayer for him. But he can talk and he can move and he's like aware of everything. So it doesn't appear like he had any brain damage that's really noticeable or anything. But strokes run in my family. I lost several of my uncles, my mom's brothers, to stroke or heart attack. I think 3 or 4 of them had a stroke, and the rest had heart attacks. And there were 6 brothers and 1 girl, my mom. And out of the 6 of them, I think 2 had heart attacks and 4 had strokes. So yeah. So anyway, my cousin is lucky that he lived, and he's lucky that he didn't lose like movement in his arms or legs or anything. Like, so far, so good. I don't know how strokes work. I don't know if you're at risk of having another stroke immediately after having one. So I'm just glad it's not as bad as my uncle's. Some of them just died immediately when they had the stroke, and two of them were never the same. They were in nursing homes for the rest of their lives and in wheelchairs and unable to talk or, you know. My one uncle was able to move one hand, but yeah, it's a serious problem. So anyway, I was in a bad mindset. I was really worried, and I was talking to all my cousins and my aunt, and his daughters were just so sad and upset, and I would be too if it happened, you know. I was also sad. He's my cousin. I love my family. But anyway, I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't do my painting. But I was by myself, and I thought, well, what else am I going to do really, other than dwell on everything negative? And for the length of time it took me to do this painting, and it took me a while. It took me, I would say, an hour and a half for such a simple painting. And a lot of it's because I'm not used to painting big, and I wasn't mixing enough color. I had to keep going back and mix more colors. But a lot of it was because I was having fun and I didn't want to finish. I could have stopped much sooner, but I didn't want to. So this painting really helped me today. And that's one of the really beautiful things about art is it gets you out of your head, and it, or me anyway, it just puts me in a different zone. It's so therapeutic. And that's another reason why I love World Watercolor Month is because it makes you do things you might not do otherwise. And a lot of times I get like frozen when it comes to art, and I stress about it too much because I think, oh, it has to be nice. But World Watercolor Month is like, no, you're not going to be making masterpieces. Some of your artwork might be horrible, but it's all about experimenting and trying new things and challenging yourself to just do it every day, no matter how it turns out, just do something. And I seem to need that, and it really helps me. So we are coming to the end of this painting, and my favorite part, well, one of my favorite parts is coming up, and that is when I get to put down my brush and take off the tape. So we're going to be doing that real soon. Here we go. There go the clips. I got to get more clips. And let's see. Now I'm struggling to remember which tape I have to start with. The bottom one. And let's pull off the tape. Sorry about my arms in the camera. And pull off the tape. And pull off the tape. It is so satisfying. And I love when the tape does not rip the paper. This Artist Loft sketchbook is really great. It does not rip. And there we go. The tape is gone. And now we're going back to regular speed. And here we are. And I'm showing you a little bit of a close-up of what it looks like. And I'm inspecting it. And I'm really happy with it. And I really love these Meeden paints more than I thought I would. So now I am just writing that it is day 2 of World Watercolor Month, and I'm writing that I used Meeden gouache and the date. So yeah, and I'm just using a regular ballpoint pen because sometimes when I use markers, they kind of spread out too much. All right, guys, so that is it for day 2 of World Watercolor Month. I am really happy with how this turned out. I love my Meeden gouache. It comes in tubes like this, but I've been using it dry in this little palette, and I'm really loving it. And I also really love this Artist Loft book that I got at Michael's. So yeah, I'm super happy about this. I'm not used to painting this big. I really like it. My eyesight's not good, and it helps my eyes a lot better to paint bigger. So this is wonderful. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Hit that like button, the subscribe, the notification bell, all of those good things that help as a channel. And most importantly of all, take care. Stay safe, happy crafting, and thank you so much for spending time with me today. And if you're doing World Watercolor Month too, let me know in the comments. Bye, guys.